guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. In today's video I'm going to be showing you everything I eat in a week, and in this week it's going to be a bit of a fun kind of challenge style video. I'm going to be trying out 6 different plant-based diets as well as my own, which will be the 7th on the Sunday. And I basically want to show you that there are so many different ways to eat vegan foods, and there's so many different diets out there. A lot of them are kind of fad diets, and I would not necessarily follow any of these diets in particular, but it is interesting to see how different people take on a vegan diet. And also I'm going to be discussing a bit about, the nutrition behind things, like how I'm feeling during the day. For example, like when I'm having the raw foods day, like, am I feeling satisfied? Am I feeling like I've got a balanced diet? We kind of got to go through those things, but also just show you what I'm eating. Obviously this is not a typical week for me or whatsoever. So if you are interested in seeing a full week of, intuitive eating, what I usually eat, let me know in the comments down below, because I would find that interesting to film and to track. But yeah, I hope you really enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments down below if you would like to see a full week of eating of my own diet. But yeah, this is just more of a fun video challenge to try out some different foods, try out some different recipes, and yeah, show a bit about the different vegan diets that are out there. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye. So I wanted to quickly show you my groceries for the week. So this is pretty much everything I used in this whole video. So I went to a couple of different grocery stores. I went to Woolies, I also went to a fresh fruit grocer, and I also went to a bulk food store to get some little goodies to make a raw slice that I was going to make that night. So I didn't actually show that, but I will leave the recipe in the description box below. I made this delicious raw caramel slice. It was a massive hit. Would totally make it again. But yeah, let's get into the first day. So on day 1, I did a fully raw vegan diet. So that is where you cannot have anything cooked over 48 degrees Celsius. So for breakfast today, I decided to make a smoothie bowl. So here I've got some frozen banana, some frozen blueberries, some oats, water, as well as some flax seeds and cinnamon. So that's what I used for the base. I just blended that up and it became into a nice thick smoothie bowl consistency, kind of more like an ice cream consistency, to be honest. And I just sprued that into my coconut bowl, which I thought was fitting for this raw vegan day. And then I topped it off with some more oats, as well as a homemade chocolate sauce, which was just maple syrup and cocoa powder. So this was pretty good, but it was quite a cold morning. So honestly, I kind of wished I just had my regular oats, but we're doing raw vegan, and so I decided to make this smoothie bowl, and it was pretty yummy. I have made better smoothie bowls, but it was pretty good, and I definitely enjoyed it. I ate the whole thing, but as you will see shortly, not too long after I ate this, I was still a bit hungry afterwards. And I don't know, I think it just was because I didn't feel as satisfied as I do after like a big bowl of thick creamy oats. So then I decided to have one of my raw caramel slices, which I made the night before as a bit of meal prep. Anyway, on to lunch. I just made this super yummy, quick and easy raw salad. It was really fresh and delicious. So not long after lunch, I was still a bit peckish, so I had a couple of kiwi fruits as well as some almonds, and then we go on to dinner. So for dinner, I made another big salad, but this is actually a pad thai inspired salad. So for the dressing, I put in some almonds, some lime, some maple syrup. I can't exactly remember everything that's in there, but I will put a link to the recipe that I used in the description box below. I topped it off with some fresh cashews, and there's, a whole lot of veg in there. It was actually really tasty. Apologies for this being the complete worst angle and everything, but I just got back from a gym session, so I'm really hungry, so I just made this super quick, and it's actually really good. I would definitely make this again, but with noodles. Like, the sauce is really yummy and all the fresh veggies are really good. I just think like it just needs some carbs. Like, I'm just like, oof, need carbs. But if this has carbs in it, it would be a really good meal. And plus I'd probably also add like some more protein. I put in some edamame beans because they're just like frozen and thawed, so they're raw still. But yeah, probably needs a little bit more protein, definitely needs more carbs, but overall it tastes really good. I'm really enjoying it. So I had a little bit of leftover dressing at the end there, so I just decided to add in some extra veggies and kind of stir that up and use up the rest of that, because I was still a little bit peckish. I gotta say, like, it's a lot of food in that bowl, but because it's all super low calorie because of the vegetables, like I was still a bit hungry. So then I also had another one of those caramel slices. Alrighty guys, it's day 2 and we are doing raw till 4. So this is the diet that was highly popularized by Freely the Banana Girl. So, you know, in dedication to her, I'm having I think I used 5 bananas all up, as well as 4 dates. And then some water and cinnamon just for a bit of flavor, as well as I also added in some flax meal because I just wanted to add in some healthy fats to make it a bit more filling. And this actually, I thought it was going to make more, but I guess I didn't put that much water in there. So it was like one really big glass and a half. And this was pretty filling, but I felt like it just went through my body so fast because of all that fiber and, you know, obviously like carbohydrates, but that breaks down into sugar. So there's a lot of sugar in there as well. So it did go through the system rather fast. Alright guys, so sorry I didn't show you me making this one, but it's basically the same ingredients as the 2 salads I had yesterday, but I've just made a different dressing. So today I made a maple syrup with Dijon mustard, lime and almond butter dressing, and just like a bit of water in there, and it actually tasted really good. So that is what I'm having for lunch. I'm not super hungry, but I'm just really keen to eat food because my smoothie obviously was liquid and I usually like chomp on something in the morning, like I usually have oats. So I'm definitely keen to like chomp into this. And then I'm definitely going to have some more of that raw caramel slice. Yesterday I ended up having 3 of them, which is probably more than I'd have like on a typical day. But I think because I was having all raw foods, it tasted like such a nice treat. And one thing I do want to mention is that obviously I'm not going to continue eating like this. I love having cooked foods, and the raw diet is not right for me. And I definitely don't endorse any of these diets, but at the same time, it is nice to try something different, get out of my comfort zone. And I'm trying new recipes, like new salad stuff I wouldn't usually make. The cons would be this takes a while to chop up all these veggies and you have to do it fresh every time, otherwise it doesn't taste so good. Whereas the way I eat, I usually meal prep for the next couple of days, so I don't have to actually be cooking at every meal, and that obviously does take up time and energy, and it can be a bit frustrating if you're short on time. But I'm still really keen for this meal and I think it's going to be good, and I'm going to tuck into this and I'll see you guys soon. Bye! Just a little update, I just had a couple of bites of this and it's so good. This dressing is amazing. I'm definitely going to make it again. But next time I'm going to add in some kind of healthy carbs into this, like quinoa or some rice or something like that. And then I'd also add in a protein source. So I'd probably add cooked tempeh on top of this to just give it a bit more protein, make it a bit more balanced. But the actual salad itself is so good. Would rate this a 10 out of 10 in terms of the salad. And also what I did want to note was yesterday I actually ended up, eating around 2,000 calories. And it's not I wasn't eating enough calories, but I definitely just wasn't feeling as satisfied with my meals because I wasn't having those complex carbohydrates. I mean, I guess fruit and vegetables are carbohydrates, but I just feel I'm used to having, rice or pasta or some type of grains quinoa or something like that. So definitely didn't feel as satisfying mentally, even though I was eating a similar amount of calories. So that's something too, with your food, you want to really be enjoying your food. Otherwise, whatever kind of diet you're on isn't sustainable. And I'll talk about this more at the end, but yeah, basically, just take everything I'm saying in this video with a grain of salt, because, you need to eat what's right for you and what's right for your body and what's sustainable in the long term and what you enjoy as well, because food is meant to be enjoyed. Obviously food is fuel, but it's also a part of our lives every day, and you want to be able to enjoy it when you eat it. So I'm going to keep enjoying this salad and I will talk to you guys later. Bye. So although the salad was really yummy, it just was lacking some texture in there. It was all very crunchy. I needed something meaty. So I decided to add in some kiwi fruit. I was going to eat it as a mono meal later on, but I was nah, I'm just going to chuck it in the salad. So that's what I did, and it actually tasted really good, and it gave the salad a sweet element, which was really yum. So onto my afternoon tea. I had another raw caramel slice, and I did have a coffee, which I know isn't strictly raw. Obviously not super strict, but I'm trying my best. I really felt like a coffee. And then we are going on to dinner. So I wanted to show you me making the dinner. I am using water instead of oil, because in the raw till 4 diet, it's high carb, low fat. So they don't use much oil, if any.
So that's what I wanted to show you. That's what they do. I don't do that personally, but a lot of people do that because they want to limit their fats, which I don't really get why, because there's a lot of vitamins that are actually fat soluble, so you need fat in your diet to be able to actually digest and get the nutrients from those vitamins. So not too much of a fan on the whole low fat thing. Like, yeah, fine, don't have, super highly processed stuff that's like deep fried and all that. But, a bit of oil when you're cooking, honestly, is not bad at all. It's actually good because it helps digest and get the right nutrients out of those vitamins. So anyway, moving on, this is what my meal looked like. It was pretty tasty. I slightly undercooked the chips, so they weren't as good as they have been in the past, but overall I was super keen to eat this cooked meal. I just wanted to eat it so much that I was like, stuff the long cooking time, I just want it done to get in my mouth. Like, that's how much I was craving cooked food by this point. So obviously this diet is not sustainable for me. Maybe if you live in Hawaii or like a super tropical location where you it's really hot and everything like that, maybe then I could do raw, but in Melbourne, no. Oh yeah, and by the way, I definitely had seconds. Alrighty guys, now we're going on to a whole foods plant-based diet. So this is a diet that emphasizes eating whole plant foods and minimizing processed foods. So I was so excited to be able to have my oats this morning. Like, I cannot tell you guys how excited I was. This was honestly just the best moment for me. I love having my oats in the morning, and it is a really great way to get in some great nutrients in the morning with, fresh fruit and whole grains, and I added in some peanut butter for some healthy fats, and it's just so good. It's honestly the best breakfast out there. I don't get people that don't like oats, but anyway.
Hey guys, I just wanted to jump in and say how freaking excited I am for these oats. So I usually have oats basically every morning, and I haven't had it for the last 2 mornings because I've been doing raw and then raw till 4, and oh my gosh, I'm so excited, especially because it's kind of cold at the moment. I feel like the raw food diet would be alright in summer when if you're on a tropical island, if you're in Hawaii or Bali or something, and you have an abundance of beautiful fresh tropical fruit. I feel like that kind of raw food diet is more suited to that climate and that lifestyle, whereas for my lifestyle where I'm waking up early, working at the gym, I get hungry and I really want something nice and warming and comforting, especially now that we're getting into autumn here in Australia. Porridge is just the way to go, and I'm so excited. I've put in some cocoa powder, some raspberries. I also put in a little bit of protein powder, which probably isn't strictly whole foods diet, but I was really craving it and I put it in. And then I've got some banana on top. So usually people use banana, mashed banana or dates to sweeten their porridge instead of something like sugar, or even syrups and stuff, because it's more whole food based. So we're actually using the whole food to sweeten things. And then I also have some raspberries in there as well. And then I've topped it up with peanut butter. So let's tuck in. This is where it's at. I mean, I guess it's kind of good that I had a little bit of a break from porridge, because now I appreciate it even more. Alrighty, I'll see you guys later when I have lunch, which will be yummy as well.
Alrighty, so for a little snack today, I had some cooked sweet potato with banana, peanut butter, and cinnamon. This is a snack that I used to have all the time back in the day. I don't know, maybe about a year or 2 ago, I was really into this as a snack, and I haven't had it in ages, and it's actually really good. And then for lunch, I had some leftover dal from the night before, leftover sweet potato, leftover broccoli, and then some fresh veg. So I've got some carrot, capsicum, spinach, avocado, and then some lime juice on top. This was so yum, so quick and easy because I had already pre-prepped the stuff from the night before. And yeah, it was super tasty. Then for dinner, I actually had some leftovers that I'd made a few days before, which was a Thai green curry with tofu, vegetables, rice, and then I topped it off with some sesame seeds and cucumber. So again, a really nice, well-balanced meal here, minimally processed, using lots of whole foods. Honestly, this whole foods plant-based diet is the one diet that is the most similar to my current diet / lifestyle, because it does incorporate a lot of healthy, balanced meals. And that's it for the day. All right, it's day 4 and it's the vegan keto diet. So the ketogenic diet is low in carbs and then higher in fat and protein. So carbs are typically reduced to 20 to 50 grams per day to reach and maintain ketosis. I'm just going to preface this by saying that I did not reach that. I think in total I think it was like 75 or 80 grams carbs. And honestly, like that's pretty low for me. I'm typically, 150 grams plus of carbs a day. So this was, significantly less than what I usually have, but I'm sorry, I couldn't reach ketosis. I tried. For breakfast, I had a smoothie, which, the only carb source in here was like a little bit from the blueberries. And then I had protein powder, peanut butter and stuff like that. So it was pretty high in protein and fat, pretty low in carbs. I tried my best. And then for lunch, I'm just having tofu scramble with avocado and a little bit of tomato sauce. And I just put some extra veggies in there to kind of bulk it up a bit. There's some capsicum, some onion and some mushroom, I think, as well as some fresh herbs on top, which was actually really yummy. I could totally eat this dish every day. There was actually a stage where I was having tofu scramble almost every day, exactly like this. I just probably add in some extra veggies, but yeah, I was trying to keep it nice, high in protein, high in fats, low carb. But then as a snack, I decided to make a high protein cookie dough slice. So I'm using some protein powder as well as some almond meal, then a little bit of maple syrup for a bit of sweetness, plus some peanut butter. Then I also added in some vanilla extract and we mixed that all up. Then this is the texture that it came out as. It was slightly too crumbly. So what I did was just add in some water in there because, if I wasn't doing a keto diet, I would have had something like dates in there to get that really nice texture. But because we're doing keto, we don't want too much, carbohydrates. So we're just using water, and then I put in some dark chocolate chips as well. This was really good. Obviously, it wasn't super keto, but whatever, I'm doing my best. And then I just put that all into a tray and then put that into the freezer for about half an hour to let it set. And then once it had fully set, I just took it out and sliced it up into some nice cookie dough slices. This was super tasty. Definitely would make this again. I think I'd just add in some dates just to get the texture a little bit better, but it was pretty good, honestly. It was pretty tasty, very high in protein. I think each bar had about 11, maybe 12 grams of protein per serve, so it's pretty high protein. I think I ended up having 2 of these today. I had one as a snack then, and then I think I also had one later in the day. Hi guys, just a quick update. Keto day is going well. I'm not feeling super like anything. I'm feeling pretty satisfied, pretty good. My meals have been nice. I mean, I did miss my porridge this morning, but whatever. Now I'm having a protein shake after gym. And then I've got some work, and then for dinner I'm going to be making a stir fry with cauliflower rice. So obviously I wouldn't normally have cauliflower rice, I'd usually have regular rice, but I'm sure it'll be fine. And then I'll also have something for dessert. So yeah, going well. Talk to you guys soon. Alrighty, so we are on to dinner and I'm making some cauliflower rice. So classic keto thing is to use cauliflower rice instead of real rice, because obviously real rice has a lot of carbs and cauliflower rice has a lot less carbs. So all I'm doing here is grating up half cauliflower, and this turns into quite a lot of cauliflower rice. I don't mind cauliflower rice. It's not bad. It's just not as good as regular rice. But anyway, I've just made like a traditional stir fry that I make all the time. I'll link one of my what I eat in a day videos down below where I make this ginger stir fry. It's honestly so tasty. Definitely tastes better with rice than cauliflower rice, but it was still good and it was satisfying because it was a nice big meal, lots of protein in there, and it was really tasty. So I did really enjoy this. I think I would just slightly prefer it if I had regular rice. But that was it for the day. Yeah, honestly, I felt pretty satisfied. I just, I miss the carbs. I love carbs. Now we're going on to junk food vegan. So junk food vegan is someone that has more highly processed things, isn't too stressed about the nutritional aspect of their diet. So for breakfast today, I actually bought something out because I had to work later than I usually do, so I had to buy something from the place next door. Honestly, it was pretty healthy, I guess, but that was the only like vegan thing they had. And then for lunch, I went out for lunch and I was actually planning to have pancakes because I knew this place made really good vegan pancakes, but they didn't have them today, so I ended up getting a vegan big breakfast, which was pretty good. Then I decided to go to Coles because Coles just came out with a new vegan cookie, so I went and got that, which was the salted caramel and chocolate cookie. Guys, I was really hoping that it was going to be really tasty, but to be honest, it wasn't that great. I prefer it when I make my own cookies. And then for dinner, I got a pizza. So I don't usually get pizza from, just like a regular pizza place, which this was. They did have vegan cheese, which was great. And I basically just put on loads of veggies, pretty much everything on the menu. And it actually did taste really good. And yeah, that was my dinner. As I'll show you later, I also had some garlic bread.
Hi guys, I just wanted to say hi and tell you that I'm going good. To be honest, I didn't really like those cookies that much earlier. They were alright. They were good dipped in tea, but I had another one and I was like, I could make better cookies myself. Like, I prefer my own protein cookie recipe. So yeah, I mean, to be honest, like, I'm gonna try this pizza. I'm gonna give you a rating. I haven't had pizza, like store-bought pizza, in ages. Let's see how it is. Okay. That's actually pretty yum. I got like basically all of the vegetables. So I've got eggplant, onion, artichoke, olives, capsicum, mushrooms. I think that's it. But yeah, it's actually pretty good. And vegan cheese. I think it also has pineapple, which is yum. Anyway, basically, what I wanted to say so far is that I am enjoying trying different recipes because this is putting me outside of my comfort zone. I'm forced to try different things. So in that sense, it's good. But in another sense, it's hard because it is a bit restrictive, and I don't really like to be restrictive with my diet anymore. Like, I was a bit restrictive when I was about like 17, 18. I went through a phase where I didn't have the best relationship with food, and now I'm not restrictive because like I know what's healthy and I know what I enjoy and I know what digests well for me. Like, the other thing I wanted to mention was that my digestion has been so weird the last few days because I had those first 2 days when I was eating all raw, so I was eating loads of fiber, like way more than I usually have. And then I had the keto day where I was having a lot less fiber, and yeah, now I'm having like junk food, but it's not even that unhealthy. And yeah, it's just kind of messing with my digestive system, which obviously like isn't the best, but we're fine. Like, it'll be fine. And then tomorrow I've got Starch Solution 1, which I'm actually kind of keen for because like I just bought some fresh corn, and I'm gonna like cook some corn, and yeah, that'll be good. But I'm gonna sit down and eat the rest of this pizza. I'm gonna eat the whole thing because I only got a small one. And yeah, I'm gonna enjoy it because it actually is really yummy. So I'm keen to dig into this, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
So here is that garlic bread that I was talking about earlier. I honestly didn't think I was going to eat the whole thing, but I ended up eating literally the whole thing of garlic bread, which I don't even know how many calories that is, but it's probably quite a bit because, you got the vegan butter and all that bread, but it was really yummy and I enjoyed myself. And then a bit later on, I felt like something sweet, so I decided to just have some Milo. So if you're not from Australia, you might not know what Milo is, but basically it's like a barley malted chocolate drink thing, and it has actually quite a lot of vitamins added in there, and to be honest, it was so good. I haven't had this in ages, and I just used that Chobani oat milk, and what I like to do is to put the Milo at the bottom and then kind of scoop it out and eat it. I don't like to mix it through too much. I like to just eat the Milo. Anyway, how do you drink your Milo? Let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, it was pretty yummy and a great way to end the day. But honestly, I felt pretty bloated today from all that food, especially that garlic bread. Like, I probably didn't need all the garlic bread after all the pizza, but I did it and I felt fine, but just a bit bloated. So I was pretty excited to go onto the Starch Solution Diet the following day because I felt like I just needed a bit of a reset after all that processed food. So for breakfast, I made something which actually turned out really well, which was carrot cake and zucchini oats. So I was a bit skeptical about putting zucchini in oats, but honestly, this has changed my life because every day since then, I've been putting zucchini in my oats. It just bulks out the oats, and honestly, it feels like you're eating way more because the zucchini like bulks it out a bit, and also you're getting in vegetables in breakfast, which is great. And that's the whole thing of the Starch Solution Diet, is they want you to have vegetables with every meal. which, you know, it's a bit restrictive if you have to have vegetables at every single meal, but you know, it is good for you. Veggies are good for you, we all know that. So yeah, this turned out really well, and I put some cinnamon and just a little bit of nut butter on top because, you know, I love my nut butter. And then for lunch turned out really well as well. So I made these like maple roasted Brussels sprouts, which turned out amazingly well in the oven. So all I did was put in some Dijon mustard and maple syrup, mix that around, and then put them in the oven for about 30 minutes. And I also served that with some tofu scramble, which is nice and high in protein. I added in some beans in there and some veggies, and then just a little bit of tomato sauce. So I'm getting in a lot of nice healthy starches and proteins and vegetables. And yeah, this was a really, really wholesome, filling meal. I really enjoyed this. Definitely would make it again. And now on to dinner. So again, I wanted to show you that I'm using water instead of oil, because on the Starch Solution Diet, they also recommend using water or stock instead of using too much oil in your cooking. So I did that, and I made this pretty yummy chickpea curry type thing. I added in some extra fresh greens, and this was actually really, really good. Would definitely make this again. It's just super quick and easy. Just added in, you know, some garam masala, some curry powder, some other spices and stuff, and it was pretty simple, straightforward to make. And then I'm just pairing this with some baked sweet potato. So I was so excited when I made this baked sweet potato. I got my hands on some white sweet potato. So it's the one that's purple on the outside, white on the inside. And honestly, when you cook it properly, it tastes like cake, and it's so freaking amazing. So I highly recommend trying out that white sweet potato if you haven't already. So I just served this on a bed of lettuce just to get some extra greens in. And I had some fresh veggies as well, and some corn that I just cooked up in the microwave. Actually, I just steamed in the microwave, and that was my dinner. Honestly, super, super, super tasty. The sweet potato really made this meal for me. Like, oh, it was just so good. I just can't wait to have sweet potato again. I just bought some actually today, and I'm so keen to have some more sweet potato. And then I did have some leftovers, so I just stored them in airtight containers, and I will be using them the next day, but you'll have to wait and see. Then for dessert, we have all these apples at the moment, and so I decided to make an apple crisp. I actually got this recipe straight from the Dr. McDougall's website. It's just his healthy apple crisp recipe, and this was actually really, really, really good. So I think it's meant to make about 8 servings, and me and my boyfriend ate the whole thing. So we had about 4 servings each, which probably isn't recommended on the Starch Solution Diet, but I just can't tell you guys how good this was. Like, it was honestly so amazing. Like, I just want to make it again right now. Like, the topping, it was so simple. It was just like mainly oats, a little bit of maple syrup. I can't even remember what else, but it was so minimal, so easy to make, and it tasted so incredible. So I will leave the link to the recipe in the description box below. Definitely check this one out. It was super amazing. And I served it in my cute little Peter Rabbit bowl, which just made it taste even better. And yeah, that was it for this day of the Starch Solution. Actually, I really enjoyed this day of eating. It was really nice and well balanced as well. And now onto my diet. So I try to eat as intuitively as I can. I don't follow any strict diet. I try to eat balanced meals with, you know, protein, carbs, fats, getting in a wide range of fruits and vegetables to get in all my micronutrients. And I try to listen to my hunger cues, and also what I'm craving to, you know, nourish both my body and my soul. Like, I want to actually be enjoying the food. So for breakfast, I had oats, but I only ate breakfast at around 10 o'clock today because I was quite full. I had eaten late dessert the night before, so I listened to my body and I realized that I actually wasn't hungry until about 10 a.m. today. Some days I will eat at 6:37 if I wake up early, but today I wasn't. So I let myself have that rest and let my digestive system work, and then I waited till I was hungry, and then I ate this beautiful big breakfast of oats, and I put in zucchini actually into my oats this morning because I had it the day before with the Starch Solution and I realized how good it is. So I had a chocolate zucchini oats with some raspberries in there, some cocoa powder, some peanut butter. And then, of course, I had my coffee. So this is just the hazelnut mocha coffee, instant coffee. I know people who don't like instant coffee will cringe, but I'm obsessed. And I had that with almond milk. And yeah, that was my breakfast. It was super, super satisfying, really delicious. And yeah, this is just me eating it. So I think because I waited until I was quite hungry, I decided that I also wanted to have one of these leftover cookie dough protein slices. These are actually so tasty, and yeah, I just had one of those too because I was in the mood for it and I felt like it, and that's what I did. And then I finished off my coffee and, you know, went about my day. I had quite a busy day this day, I think. So I was doing a bit of work. It was a Sunday, but, you know, I'm a busy gal. I got stuff to do even on the weekends. So I went off and did some work. And then for lunch, which what I usually do every day is I usually have leftovers for lunch. So here I'm having leftovers from the night before from the Starch Solution dinner that I made. And it was just a nice, quick and easy lunch. Honestly, this is probably quite a light lunch for me. I'd usually have, you know, more carbs and stuff, but because I had breakfast late, I wasn't super hungry, so I had a kind of a lighter lunch. But what I tend to do is have leftovers for lunch, and that is the way I like to live because I don't have to cook at every single meal. Anyway, now we are on to dinner, and I just want to show you guys that I cook with oil. So this is my dinner. I'm making spaghetti and meatballs tonight because I've been craving this for a while. So what I'm doing here is just making the spaghetti sauce just with some onion. I'll use some fresh garlic, some olive oil, and then some passata. And then I'm just using these meatballs that I got from Aldi. So this was the first time I'd ever tried them, and these are actually really good. Would definitely recommend if you have these at your local Aldi to try them out. You know, as I said before, I eat quite like a balanced, more intuitive style. So today I felt like meatballs, it is a bit more processed than what, you know, is the typical like healthy Wholefoods diet, but you know, I'm not restricting myself. Like if I want to have some processed vegan meatballs, I'm gonna have them. So that's what I had for dinner, but I also like to pair it with some extra veggies. So I have a bed of spinach as well as a corn on the cob, just to get those extra veggies in there and to kind of make it a bit more balanced and wholesome, getting those whole foods in, but at the same time eating what I really am craving and what I feel like. Because a lot of the time what people do is they restrict things out of their diet so much that they crave them, and then they have like a binge eating cycle where they restrict, and then they crave, and then they binge. Whereas what I've found with kind of more flexible dieting, like it's more of a lifestyle, and you can eat things that you like, but just in moderation, and not restricting anything. So then for dessert, I just made a homemade chocolate, which was just maple syrup, cocoa powder, and I think I added in a little bit of protein powder as well, and it became this kind of mousse-like texture, which is really yummy, as well as a decaf coffee.
So there you go. Honestly, it was kind of hard to film my food for every single meal. Like, it took a lot of discipline to remember to film everything. So I probably had a coffee here and there that I didn't film, like the one I'm having now, which is usually just homemade, like Moccona instant coffee with almond milk. So, you know, it's not too fancy or anything, but yes, I think there are a few in there that I forgot to film. But other than that, I pretty much filmed everything for the week. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed seeing this video. And as I mentioned throughout the video, you know, you have to listen to your own body and decide what foods are right for you. And I do not recommend sticking to such restrictive diets because honestly, it sets you up for failure a lot of the time. Like, you have to eat what's right for you, what you enjoy, what is giving you the right amount of nutrition. I do think, you know, doing research and looking into different diets is really beneficial because you can learn from that and you can take little aspects of that into your own lifestyle. But I don't recommend sticking to such restrictive diets because honestly, it's really taxing mentally. And it stops you from being able to get into that intuitive mindset where you are really listening to your body. So I really don't recommend like sticking to one of these specific diets. I completely believe in intuitive eating and listening to your body, and you know, it does take some trial and error. Like honestly, it's taken me years. I went vegan like I think 5 years ago now, and it's taken me a long time to really understand what works well for me, where I'm, you know, what foods I need to eat to get the right balanced nutritional profile, and then also developing that healthy relationship with food where no specific food is labeled as junk food. But yeah, basically what I want to say is that you need to eat what's right for you. Really just try not to, like, I know this video was kind of like diet culture-y because I was trying out the different diets, but the main theme that I really want to get home to everyone watching this is that there is no one diet that's right for everyone. Everyone has a very unique gut microbiome and makeup and preferences and everything, and everyone's diet honestly should look completely different, and it should look different on every day as well. Like, variety is the key and moderation is the key in lifestyle and diets and all of that jazz. So honestly, just working out what's right for you. It's going to take trial and error, it's going to take a bit of time, but I really hope, you know, this video has actually helped you to realize that everyone's different, no one's the same, and there's no one diet that is going to work for everyone. And yeah, basically trial and error, experience, time, learning what feels good for you, what digests well for you. That's another thing. On the raw food day, my digestion was just like all out of whack. Honestly, this whole week, my digestion was so out of whack because I was eating all these random foods that I'm not used to. So that was interesting. I won't touch on too much on that, but yeah, definitely listening to your body, listening to those hunger cues as well, and the digestion and how you feel, and that is the key to finding a lifestyle that is right for you. And with all that said, if you did enjoy this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments down below what you enjoyed. If you do want to see a video of my actual eating for a week, let me know. And if you haven't already, I would love it if you could hit that subscribe button down below. We are nearing to 2,000 subscribers, which is really, really exciting. And yeah, I hope you guys are all safe and well, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!